All right, this is gonna be a really important fitness video for me to make. This is why you must lean bulk. Now, in fitness, you tend to have two different groups of people. You have the people that just love cutting, love being lean, love seeing the more definition come in. And you have the groups of people that always wanna be in a lean bulk. They wanna get bigger, they wanna get stronger. And both groups aren't ideal if you're really trying to master your physique and achieve that Greek god aesthetic. Because if you're always cutting, you're gonna be sacrificing and compromising your strength and muscle development. And now, if you're always bulking, focusing on getting bigger, eventually you're gonna spill over and your body's gonna drift to a higher body fat that really looks good. So the power is finding that balance. Now, I will admit that I've really put out the idea of focusing on cutting, focusing on being lean, staying in that deficit. Now, the reason I've been pushing that so hard is because I naturally can eat a lot. My natural set point is eating quite a bit. So I have to really focus and push the deficit. So when I download my cutting, I'm on point. But over the years, I've spent periods of times eating more. And when I struggled with dieting in my earlier 20s, I ended up being in a calorie surplus because I would screw up so much, I would end up eating more. Obviously, doing it that way isn't ideal. It's better to do it planned. But in any case, the point there is that I've actually spent a good amount of time lean bulking. Now, I want to address the fact that with my audience and with what I teach, I tend to push people more into that cutting route. And that's important. If someone is 17, 18% body fat, that's not the time to start bulking. You want to get lean. You want to get rid of the fat. You want to get your body fat down to 10, 12%. Have some ab definition. And of course, if you want to get really chiseled, you can. But a lot of times, once you got your 10, 12% body fat, your waist is pretty taut and everything, the best course of action is to start lean bulking. It is to put on muscle. Now, this is very true for the guys that are lean, but maybe they're 5'10" and they're 150, or they're 6 foot and they're 165, 170. You still have 20 pounds of lean mass you can put on. So it's important to start to focus on that, because the ultimate goal with Kinobody, with training, isn't just to have a six-pack and to be skinny. It's to have that Greek god physique. It's to have the big rounded shoulders, the chest. Right now I'm 5'10", 179. This is a great weight to kind of balance that leanness and, that muscle size and that strength. When I was in the low 170s this past spring and summer, I sacrificed a lot of strength and muscle. And for me to get that lean, I had to let go of muscle. In fact, it's almost impossible to hold on to a solid amount of muscle or close to your potential, when your body fat's getting that low, where you have striations and all that. So I definitely pushed the limit this past spring, summer, and I did notice that the strength and muscle, you're compromising it a little bit. And of course, if you do want to get really lean for a photo shoot, for a month, for fun, that's fine. But also I have to accept, and I have to let you know that getting super lean, you are going to sacrifice some strength and muscle. So me at the low 170s, I'm not in the best state to get stronger and bigger as I am when I'm in the high 170s. So I find the high 170s is a lot better. Now, so what I want to really mention here is that for those people that are cutting, they've already gotten themselves down to a decent level of leanness, where they have some ab definition, they're in 10, 12%. If you're really under your muscle building potential, get on a lean bulk. The best course of action is to eat about 200 calories above maintenance per day. So if you're 160 pounds, maintenance is going to be around 2,400 calories. If you're moderately active, you're lifting, you're getting your steps in, but you're not training 2 hours a day, and you're not like a high level athlete, and you're not working a construction job. So that's body weight times 15. 160 times 15 is 2,400. So you want to be around 2,600 calories per day on average. Now, obviously, you can have some days where you're higher, some days when you're a bit lower for fun. Some days I'll do 5 days eating 400 calories above maintenance, and then 2 days eating a little bit below maintenance, which I kind of like. So the point is you average that 200 calorie surplus, and that will support nice lean muscle growth. And what you're gonna be noticing if you do my programs, people notice that when you're doing my training philosophy, you get really strong. You make strength gains even when you're cutting Of course, you know, you can make strength gains while cutting, but it's not gonna be as effective as when you're lean bulking. So what you're gonna notice is when you start to increase your calories, the strength and the muscle comes on so nice. And what's really powerful with this is that when you're always cutting and everything, eventually you hit this point where you just kind of burn out, you plateau, your strength hits a wall, you know, even fat loss gets stuck, your appetite ramps up. And if you're always trying to force getting leaner when your body's telling you stop and you force it, you're just making things problematic. You're making things harder than you want it to be. You almost want to listen to your body. You almost want to ride waves, you know, building a great physique and enjoying the process and staying lean for life, gaining muscle. It's all about riding waves. Now, what I mean by that is that we're in October now, you know, September passed, but this is a great point in time to really focus on riding that muscle building wave. Eating more. It's okay if you gain a little bit of fat. It's okay. Like I've obviously at 179, I put on a little bit of fat that I didn't have at 172. But again, the abs are still there and everything, but I'm not quite as chiseled in the face. But it's okay to put on, you need to put on a little bit of fat. In fact, when your fat's too low, you're not gonna be in the best anabolic environment to get bigger. So just understand that when you do ride that muscle building wave, it's okay for your fat to come up a little bit. Remember, we've freaking dialed in these programs, the Movie Star Body program, to make cutting so easy, so enjoyable, so effective that if you do put on a couple pounds of fat, you can be able to get rid of it no problem down the road. So what I really recommend doing is a cyclical approach to mastering your physique. And this becomes very effective. We'll get into it in a second for a few reasons. But so what I would do is October to March, that's your muscle building wave. That's your 6 months to really focus on being in a surplus, getting bigger, getting stronger. Don't worry about trying to stay lean. Don't worry about always trying to cut. That's gonna burn you out if you do that year round, and you're gonna sacrifice your strength and muscle. So that, you know, September, October to March, that's your solid 6 month wave of getting bigger and stronger. And when you've been cutting previously, what you're gonna notice is there's an amazing anabolic rebound. When you've been training, push yourself hard in a little bit of a deficit at a really lean body, you're compromising your strength and muscle. But now when you bring the calories up, it's just amazing. You fill out that first month, you fill out so quickly, you feel so much stronger, your PRs are going through the roof, and that you get that 1 month sort of anabolic rebound effect, and then you get 5 months to just kind of build upon that. And then, you know, in April, May, June, that's your 12 weeks to really focus, you know, or even July too, if you need to really focus on dialing in leanness. You know, be in that deficit. You're gonna find that after being in a surplus for so long, the fat flies off, your metabolism is really high, your testosterone levels feel like a lot higher naturally. So really cool stuff when you go from bulking to cutting. If you always stay in cutting, your testosterone levels come down, your metabolism starts to dwindle a little bit. So it's really important to have that cyclical approach. And again, for guys that have already got their body fat down to 10, 12%, you need that period of muscle gain. You don't want to be cutting all the time. Now, for guys that are over 14% body fat, they have 10, 15 pounds, 20 pounds of fat, plus they need to lose. The first step is to get lean, and then you want to enter the cyclical approach where, you know, whereby September, October, you're gaining muscle, you're getting bigger, hitting PRs, and then you spend a few months cutting, and then you spend a few months sort of at maintenance, just kind of focusing on a little bit of a recomp, but more so it's a lifestyle thing. Instead of always trying to change, you're just like, let's lock this in, let's lock in this leanness. And when you go from cutting to maintenance, it helps bridge the gap to a successful lean bulk. So sometimes what you'll find is if you go from being in a big deficit or a decent solid deficit, even a 400 calorie deficit, to just jumping into a surplus, you might start to put on weight a little bit too fast. So what I find is having a good period of a couple months to just eat at maintenance. Your body's already getting more calories, so you're already gonna experience really, really good results, and then go into the surplus, and that works the best. So I just want to remind anyone watching that's been doing my programs that's really focused on cutting. Once you get your body fat down where the abs are visible, you have to enter the cyclical approach to maximize strength and muscle and maximize that Greek god physique. Because again, the goal is not to be, you know, say you're 5'11", to be ripped at 155. The goal is to get up to the 175, the 180, build that Greek god physique. And so you have to spend a period of time lean bulking every year, at least 6 months, or simply put, it won't work. You'll never be able to get close to your maximum muscle potential. And so remember, I've been lifting since I was 13 years old. I was eating, you know, quite a bit from 13 to 18, 19. And that was helpful for my muscle growth. And for the last several years, I've actually been doing this cyclical approach where I spend 6 months in a surplus, getting bigger, getting stronger. My goal right now is to build up to 315 incline for 4, which would be insane. I recently smashed 205-pound dips for 4. Then I went down to like 155, 160. Then I went down to 160 for 8. And then I ended up hitting 250-pound incline for 9 reps after. And so it's amazing how much stronger and more powerful I am in the lean bulk. So I wanted to just give you this really important video because I want to see you guys get the best results possible. And that means 6 months lean bulking, a few months dialing in the leanness, 3 or 4 months max, dialing in the leanness, getting chiseled. And for that cut, you can also focus on some bodyweight training for fun, just because when you're getting leaner, you get stronger in bodyweight movement. So it's really fun. It pairs beautifully together. And then just a few months to enjoy the last couple months of summer, you know, just relax before you go into the lean bulk mode. And this also works amazing with your psychology, with your willpower. If you're always cutting, you end up getting you burn out, you plateau, you get exhausted, and you're over it. If you're always bulking, eventually it's like tiring, or you see the fat gain come on. And so the cyclical approach is a way to make the best results. And remember, when you're cutting, you're priming your body for better muscle gains when you increase calories. And when you're bulking, you're priming your body for better fat loss when you cut calories. So this is the perfect approach. And I just want to leave you with that really amazing piece of knowledge. Right now, I am accepting coaching applications into my high-level 6-month coaching group. If you want to apply, you can apply in the description. And we got some amazing stuff coming. Make sure to stay up to date with me on Instagram, because that's where I'm the most personable and active and engaged. I know my YouTube channel, I'm like, what the fuck am I even doing with it? I don't know. We're gonna see. I don't know. We'll see. You know what? I'm putting most of my energy into my Instagram and of course my coaching clients. So just want to leave you with that. Of course, we also are totally sold out of Kino Octane. That stuff was flying off the shelves. People loved it. And we have a huge order coming in for January. So stay up to date with that. Octane's coming back in January. Of course, if you want collagen, our collagen protein, our gains, our aminos, those are still available. And the epic Kino clothing launch. This is our pocket shirt in large. We have a huge Kino clothing launch with joggers, 6 sweaters, all that coming in 2 weeks. So make sure to follow my Instagram for all those updates. And thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you soon.